Hello guys! So welcome sa first discussion with me. So we are now in lesson 3, organizing and staffing the laboratory. So we will get to know we will have an overview on what organizations are. So what is an organizational landscape? Yan. So sa isang laboratory ba, sa isang company, is there a reason why, 'di ba, kailangan may boss or may manager over us, or we are grouped in different departments? So lahat 'yan may rationale behind, okay? So paano ba ang mga organizational chart? Yan, ano lang ba yan? Para makita kung sinong boss or para makita kung yung buong company, para saan ba yung organizational chart, the concept of authority. So why there should be different types of authority in an organization. And let's have an overview, guys, on human resource management. Paano ba ino-organize yung mga tao, bakit kailangan nagre-recruit ng mga tao, and it should be the right person for the right job. So pag-aaralan natin yan today, okay? So join me, get your snack, get your drink, okay? So for every minute spent in organizing, an hour is earned. Okay, so organizing, guys, could be a very difficult job kasi nga is you have um, to be systematic sa isang organization kasi nga it's like a machine and it has many moving parts. So you have to organize these moving parts para sabay-sabay ma-achieve yung goals or yung objective. So I think na maganda to if you're going to be a CEO one day. Okay, so let's learn about the organizational landscape. Okay, so hindi ba yung last topic is all about planning, and now we are in organizing. Okay, so organizing is an objective of managerial function. So kasama ng planning, leading, organizing, controlling, hindi ba? So this is organizing. So yung buong topic natin under organizing, okay, is to develop a framework that relates all people and things to one another and to the laboratory's objective. So sa isang company, there are human resources, there are physical resources, and they all have a relationship with one another. At ang pinaka goal natin ay maabot yung objectives. Okay, so dito sa mga picture, lagi niyong makikita yung word na objectives o dito targets. Yan. So determine your targets, what are your actions, coordinate your action, distribute the duties and responsibilities ng mga tao, assign the authority, form the organizational charts and manuals, organize your actions. Yan. So it all begins with a target. Yan. So what are your actions para ma-achieve mo yung target? Now the actions, yan, what are their relationship with one another? So, ganun na. So just an overview. Yan. So in organizing, kailangan may objectives na naman. Okay? So there is coordination. So same word. Should be proper communication, yung relationships, the division of labor, and the authority responsible. So organizing is a big job. Okay? So every person has a relationship. Lahat ng mga empleyado may relationship sa isa't isa. For example, for me, I'm a teacher, and my head above me is Ma'am Jale. She is the department head. And above Ma'am Jale, we have an SNS Dean. Yan. And above Dean, she has a Vice President of Academic Affairs. Yan. So, kanya-kanyang relationship yan, di ba? So, for my responsibilities, I am an instructor, I'm a teacher, pero may mga administrative requirement, may mga office work rin akong ginagawa. So, yun yung nagulat ako, guys, sa pagiging teacher, na ang rami rin palang reports, hindi ka lang magtuturo, gagawa ka ng mga reports, and so on. Yan. So, we will expand on that later. So, the structure or system, so there is a hierarchy. Yan. So, iba-iba yung organizational chart, iba-iba yung hierarchy, pero meron at merong magmamanage over you unless you are the CEO or the owner of the organization. Okay? It identifies each job, function, and where it reports within the organization. So, being organized, yan. So, nahati-hati into jobs, into functions. This structure is developed to establish how an organization operates and assist an organization in obtaining its goal. Okay? So, ang organization, yan. So, it is organized para ma-obtain yung goal. Okay, the structure is illustrated using an organizational chart. So this is a organizational chart of a national public health laboratory. So this is a sample lang naman, pero notice ang raming laboratory technologies. So perhaps this is a big laboratory. Okay, so first we have a laboratory manager. Then, its team, yan, actually ito na yung latest, dapat may quality project team. So, they monitor the quality control and biosafety officer. Yan, sa Pilipinas, ina-establish pa lang itong dalawang to, pero dapat requirement na talaga siya sa bawat laboratory. Okay? So, and they are the section supervisors are separated based on their section. So, sample, iba yung supervisor ng sample reception, chemistry, hematology, microbiology, data management. They handle the waste, facility and waste, reagent preparation. Yan, amazing, di ba? So, that's just an example of a organizational chart. At ito yung madalas nating nakikita, di ba? Yan. So, why should there be an organization structure? Yan. Ba't kailangan i-organize? First one is there should be a clear-cut authority relationships. You would know who would you report to. Yan. Clarity of roles and responsibilities and accountabilities. So, para hindi nadodoble yung mga trabaho. Yan. So, dapat there should be who would do it, and the authority. So, si Dean, siya yung in charge sa mga making the policies, standards in the SNAs, ganyan. So, siya lang gumagawa nun. Nagko-contribute lang yung mga instructors, yung mga CI, ganyan, or updating, ganyan. And she would have a final say on that. Yan. Siya yung nagpapa-enroll, yan, para hindi maulit yung enrollment. So, sila yung in charge doon. Yan. To know how to relate with one another. So, ako yung teacher. So, ako yung papasok sa classroom, okay? Hindi si Dean. So, pattern of communication. So, how would you communicate, okay? So, first, if I have a grievance, I'll go to my program head, which is Ma'am Jale, okay? So, I will not go directly to Dean or to Vice President of Academic Affairs or to the President, okay? There should be a pattern. You know who will you communicate to, okay? So, ganon, guys. So, example, you have grievances against me. Do not report me immediately to CHED, okay? So, report me to Ma'am Jale. And something like that. Yung ganon. And yung location of decision center. So, we would know where the decision is coming from. Is the decision centralized or decentralized? Yan. So, yung different section ba, kunyari hematology ka sa laboratory, yan, the section head has an authority over the decision making on what's happening on hematology section, or masusunod pa rin yung laboratory manager. Yan. So pag centralized, lahat ng decision nasa laboratory manager pa rin lahat. Yan. So susunod lang yung different section heads, section supervisors, or that each section has a autonomy over their section. So far naman, in my experience, sa laboratory, each section has an autonomy over their section. Yan. Sila nasusunod, sila nagsa-schedule ng shifting nila, then sila bahala. So unless may established guideline by the DOH. Yan. So location of decision centers, proper balancing, stimulating creativity, making use of technological improvements, and encouraging growth. I think these things are a means and results of organization structure. So kung okay yung organization structure, it could stimulate more creativity. Okay? So people could get creative kung maganda yung organization structure. Yan. Every knows the area where he specializes and where his efforts will be appreciated. Yan, if there is, this is a challenge, proper balance of the organizational structure. Yan, uh, wala dapat yung overwork, masyado siyang maraming responsibility. Baka pwede namang ma-designate, mahati yung roles and responsibility. Ganyan. Proper balance. Yan. Dito sa isang section na to, kunyari example, reception sa isang laboratory, the receptionist. Yan. Actually, example sa Baguio General Hospital, there are medical technologies which their role, ang role na lang nila is nasa reception lang talaga sila, okay? And they are the phlebotomist. So they will not work in the microbiology lab. They will not work in other sections. They would just stay in the phlebotomy area, in the reception area. So dapat kung it's a big laboratory, dapat marami yung manpower doon. Yan. So there should be balance. Making use of technological improvement. So there's a balance on whether, so that your number of machines, kailangan ba ng this amount of people? Yan. So a sound organization structure which is adaptable. So the best is you are adaptable to the latest technology. Yan. However, yun nga, minsan the latest technology, you have to cut out human resources. Kasi dati ginagawa ng tao, now pwede nang gawin ng human. Okay. So encouraging growth. So an organizational structure, guys. So it's a balanced one if there is growth. Yeah. So example, nagiging ng more responsibilities yung empleyado or tumataas siya sa hierarchy ng authority. So factors affecting organizational structure. What else? The strategy, the objectives. Yan. So it is, and kung anong strategy, susunod ang organizational structure, okay? And the technology. Yan. So how many are your computers? How many are your machines? Yan. Because depending on the machine that you use, kunyari, you have an X-ray machine. So the person that you need is a radio technologies, not a medtech, correct? So the type of your technology will dictate who will you hire, diba? So if you need programs, edi you need to hire ITs, yan, not medtechs. Depending on the technology, depending on the human resource. Yan. So highly skilled workers whose jobs require working in teams usually need a more flexible structure. Example, if you are hiring doctors, yan. So doctors, yan, needs a more flexible schedule. They have professional norms and values. So kunyari example, low-skilled workers, example mga factory worker, ganyan, or mga construction worker, yan, you need a supervisor above them, pero hindi naman masyadong marami. Yan, depending on the need, depending on their number. Yan. Organizational environment. So, the outside forces surrounding the organization. Example, pandemic. Ganyan. So since the pandemic struck the different businesses, isn't it that there were changes, di ba? They converted their business. So dati, a physical restaurant, they converted into food panda, di ba, nilagay nila, or pick-ups, deliveries, yan. So depending on the changes in environment, the organization also changed. So because of that, example, economic downturn yung nilagay ko dito, that nabawasan yung mga empleyado. Nilagay ko ba dito? Or other slide. Yan. It provides opportunities or threats. Yan. So the COVID situation, for some, it was a threat in their businesses. But some, it was an opportunity. Isn't it? Diba yung Lazada, yung Shopee, lumaki yung mga business nila at mga live selling, 'di ba, nag-boom because of the change in the environment where the organization operates. Ang galing, no? And you know, what's great, guys, you know, if you want to, gusto mo magtayo ng isang university ng school, nako, hindi nababawasan ng mga estudyante. Yan, that's for sure. So, yun, isang sa blessing, guys, is hindi naman kami nawalan ng trabaho noong pandemic, 'di ba? Kasi ang raming nawalan ng trabaho. So, let's learn about organizational chart. Interesting to. Yan. So, it's a diagram, okay, of showing the structure inside the organization, the relationships with one another, the role, di ba? Parang, kaya nga may arrow, may line, di ba? So, alam mo kung sino yung ka-group mo, ka-team member mo, yan. Pare-pareho kayo ng function. You could be group based on functions, divisions, depending on your product, depending on your project. Ganyan. So, may pagka-grupo-grupo. Okay? Hindi ba sa University of Baguio, we are grouped according to schools. Schools of Natural Sciences, School of Dentistry, School of Information and Technology, School of HRM. Yan. So, ganoon. So, dito makikita sa organizational chart. So, umpisahan natin hierarchical structure. So, it is the most preferred. Kaya ito yung madalas nating nakikita. It shows the chain of command. So, the chain of command or the authority. Yan. So, from the top to the bottom. Yan. So, the top. Yan. So, alam mo na, pag nasa top, they have the supreme authority, while the bottom represents the low-level employees. Okay? So, being a low-level employee, guys, does not reflect your value. Okay? So, meron lang talagang nasa taas, merong nasa baba. Okay? But they are all valuable. Okay? Hindi ka nila i-hire kung hindi ka valuable. And this type of structure, every employee has a supervisor. They are grouped based on their functions, geography, or product. So, itong hierarchical structure, pwedeng sabihin natin na may pagka-flexible rin naman to. And this is most commonly used and easy to understand. Hindi ba? So, may pros and cons. So, at least it shows who is authorized for particular decisions. Since si Milky Davis ang nasa taas, talagang, the most important decision is coming from him. It shows the career path gradually. Yan. So, una, since technical manager ka, so may one day, your time will come na, example, staff ka, pwede ka maging assistant manager one day, di ba? If they see some potential on you, or senior manager, di ba? Yan, career path, which could motivate the employees. Instructions to go from top to bottom directly provides a clear communication. Okay? So, at least alam mo kung kanino ka magko-communicate. Kung ikaw si Anna, so mag-communicate ka kay John P. Ridgway if you have any issues. However, cons, in such structure, increased bureaucracy may slow down the decision making. Since there are so many levels of authority, ang bagal ng decision, it can make the low-level employee feel less responsible. Yan, because they could only interact with their supervisors and so on. So, pwedeng mabagal yung decisions because of the bureaucracy. Yan, less responsible. So, you are not, since siguro hindi mo na-meet yung CEO, yan, you don't know what's the goal or the strategy of the organization kasi hindi mo naman nakikilala. Ganyan. So, there could be, hierarchical pa rin, pero there could be tall or flat hierarchical organization. So, pag tall, guys, there are so many middle managers. May supervisor dito, itong supervisor, may supervisor above them, tapos may manager siguro above them. So, ang raming levels of authority, ang haba ng long chain of command, yan. And narrow spans of control. So, for flat, guys, so there are fewer middle manager. Pero itong mga manager na to, marami silang tauhan under them. High manager to employee ratio. So, flat structures have fewer levels and wide spans of control. So, ang rami nilang ginagawa, yung isang tao ang rami nilang ginagawa. Okay? Structure results in quick communication but can lead to overwork manager kasi marami silang pa-horizontal yung, so ang raming nila under them, ang raming tao under them, okay? So ang raming employee under them. So minimum chain of command, fuel level or authority, but the managers could be overworked and tends to not properly supervise the employees. Yeah. So, pag flat, more freedom from employees to decide for themselves kasi hindi naman nga sila masyadong namo-monitor. Because they cannot provide extensive supervision. Tall organizations could be expensive. Communication can also become distorted as it is repeated through the firm. So, pinagpasapasahan yung communication, may dagdag bawas, kumbaga. Or matagal na rin yung decision making. Tight monitoring may stifle your creativity since a supervisor is supervising only a few employees. Yan, pwedeng maging tight monitoring. Yan. It will not create an atmosphere of being free, of being creative. Yan. So, however, tall organization provide employees with more direction since you are well supervised. May sense of security. Usually kasi tall organizations are big organization. New or unskilled employees who can use guidance and direction to help them complete their job. Kung ikaw yung taong you need a supervisor, yan, it's beneficial for you. Okay. So, sabi niya, this is why most factories, yan, if there are many low-skilled workers, okay, ang tall management structure, okay. So, kung small organization lang kayo, wala kayong choice, flat organization. So, since up and coming pa lang yung organization nyo, yan, the owner could not hire a lot of managers. So, flat organization talaga ang result. So, factors on choosing tall or flat, yan, size of the company, employee skills, economic downturn. Yan. So, if there are fewer employees, then flat organization. Improve technology, less middle manager, so magiging flat. Removing layers from the tall structure hierarchy. So, pag gumaganda yung technology. Okay. Depending on the objectives of the organization and the type of leadership. Okay. So, now, next, we have functional organizational structure. So, the people are organized based on their functions or their area of specialization. Okay? So, ang specific na nito. So, your organization, so they are separated. So, research and development group, since you are specializing in that, one department. Finance group, yan. Lahat ng accountant natin, ng bookkeeper, and so on, nasa finance department. Lahat ng mga nagmamarket, nasa isang area. Okay. So, based on their skill set. This kind of structure allows employee groups to put all their effort into the area they work for and professionalize in that area. So, since same colleague kayong nag-work together, example, sa amin, mga medtech department, so lahat kami medtech, yan. So, we could grow together because we understand we have the same profession, we understand the vocabulary, yan. We could inspire each other. Kunyari, anong masters mo? Ano yung PhD mo? Yan. Parang, that sounds good. Yan. O kaya, i-recruit ako, join me, let's do a research. Yan, di ba? So, employees have fixed responsibilities and tasks. Cons, it can cause lack of communication between the departments. So example, sa medtech department, actually, isang faculty kami, pero hindi ko pa masyadong nakakausap yung radtech department, yung PT department, yan. or mas lalo na yung mga IT department or yung mga engineering department, sobrang hindi ko na nakausap yung mga yun. So the self-centered mentality of a department may cause the failure of the others. So it could cause a competition, and the bureaucratic structure may cause slow decision making. Yan. So may hierarchy pa rin naman kasi ang naiba lang na group into functions. Okay. Ito naman, they are grouped into divisions. So these are for large company. So divisions, sabihin natin kunyari, example or branches like SM Baguio. Yan. So in SM Baguio, they have an HR department, a finance department, a research and development department, example in SM Baguio. However, iba yung sa SM Rosario, sa SM Pampanga, iba yung HR department, finance, and research and development. These are for large companies. In this structure, organizational function forms a division and they work autonomously with their own resources. Kanya-kanya sila. So, itong division nito, they are separated based on geography. Yan. So, iba kasi yung SM Baguio. But they are all under one company. Di ba? Yung SM Holdings. Yan. SM Company. Yan. So, kanya-kanya. May kanya-kanya silang HR department. Yan. Finance department and so on. Security engineers sa bawat branch ng SM because it's a large company. Okay. So, sa Division A, HR manager, finance manager, research and development, sales and marketing, production, and operations. Sa Division B, hindi na naman nila kailangan yun, pero may personnel, may accounting, division planning, and so on. Division C. Yan. So, ibig sabihin ko ba, nauulit yung mga HR, nauulit yung mga finance, because it's based on the need, okay? So, the difference between functional and structure, functional, so it is based on the function. Yan. Areas of specialization. Yan. So, division based on your product, yan, your geography. So, large and dynamic organization. Function, small and simple organization. Functional, it's more economical kasi nga functions are not repeated. Divisional is expensive. However, kayang-kaya naman nila nga kasi it's a very big company. Yan. Managers do not have autonomy of decision. Here, divisional. Yung mga managers sa SM Baguio, they have autonomy. Yan. Sa SM Rosario, they have autonomy. Yan. So, division, yan, pros and cons. Pros, the autonomy of division provides more flexible areas. Ensure less risk. Cons, it can cause a communication gap within the company. It causes greater tax obligations. Yan. Okay, so here we have hybrid organization. Pinagsama yung functional structure and divisional structure. Hybrid talaga. Okay, so more than one reporting structures. Yan. So, yeah. So, people could work in a multiple project and report to multiple bosses. Hirap yun na. Example, sa laboratory, a medical technologist may be working in a molecular section, molecular laboratory. However, they are also working on a research project. Yan, pwede. Or they are working in other departments na kailangan yung skill set nila. So pros, increase employee loyalty because they feel their skills are valued, increases productivity, creates a shared vision, and facilitates better coordination. Cons, creates conflict in reporting because you are reporting in more than one or two managers, leads to a scheduling conflict, schedule conflict. Siyempre, kailangan ka dito sa department na to, sa kabilang department to rin. Employees feel suffocated if the managers of the projects have both authority. In some cases, conflicts arise between the managers. Yan, kasi nga alam yung manager. So here now, we have horizontal or flat structure. Yan. Organizational type, mostly adopted by small companies and startups in their early stage. Yan. So in flat organization, guys. So usually the CEO or the owner reports is the top manager, syempre. Pero he monitors the different groups or depende sa function. Yan. Since the executives and employers are closer, the horizontal structure provides a faster decision-making process and ensure engagement. It gives employees more responsibilities. The employees, cons, will not have certain positions in which they could specialize because the employees could be used in same department. It is hard for large companies to adopt such a structure. Mostly adopted and start up in the early. Walang middle manager, okay? Si CEO ang middle manager. So project-based. Yan. So usually project-based, an short-lived lang, maikli lang ang mga projects, organizational effort with specific objective that needs resources and must meet time, cost, and quality requirements. Companies often set up projects to exploit new business opportunities. So, usually project, may ikli lang. Kunyari, sabihin natin, 1 year, sobrang ikli na yun, pero 2 years or 3 years project. So, sabihin nila, try natin itong produkto na to. So, the company could decide whether they will use their current employees or we will set up a brand new department for that project. Okay? So employees are assigned to projects and reports to a project manager. Project manager conducts performance appraisals. So ita-check niya yung performance ng mga employee. This improves the employee loyalty. Project manager has direct control and authority over the project operations. Yan. Okay, cons? Without devising procedure to share knowledge between projects, learning in the company suffers. So, minsan, baka yung project, gumagawa na sila ng own little world, yan. So, they are not sharing knowledge anymore. So, kailangan, sinishare pa rin yung mga natutunan. Projects, needs their own resources and expertise. Okay, so since gumawa ka ng brand new team, yan, you need to fund it. When personnel keep moving from one project to another, professional growth and career continuity of employees suffer. Yan. Managers should strive to clarify the contribution of the project to the overall mission of the company. Ooh, okay, so yan. Project. So next, guys, is the concepts of authority. Yan. So authority are very important because they are the one who has the power, yan, in decision making and use of resources. The hierarchy, the levels of authority, is the chain of command, okay? Specifying the relative authority of each manager. They have their own span of control. Sabi na, the company grows with the strength of a competent managerial staff, okay? So guys, yan, people have authority over us because of their competence, because of years of service, yan, or years of experiences. Yan. When someone becomes a manager, she must prove to be competent, okay? And she will experience employee turnover. The hierarchy of authority in an organization is important to the sustained success of the company, okay? Having authorities who are competent, yan, who has the skill to manage the people under them, it's very important for the company. Okay? So respecting authority, yielding to authority class, mas malayo madadating ng isang company. So if the people under them are rebelling, yan. So hindi okay, hindi nila na-achieve yung objective nila or babagal sila. So guys, di ba, we could apply it in our relationships and our families, ganyan. Basically, in the family, di ba, parents ang may authority, okay? And yun, and ideal setting na talagang dapat ang parents ang masusunod, okay? If they are competent. Kasi hindi lahat ng parents pare-pareho. I understand that. Yun, unfortunately, not all parents are good parents. Okay? So, yung iba, dinadala yung mga anak sa masama. And that's just the reality. Ha? Pero guys, we are called as children to obey even if they are not good parents. Yun. So, yun na rin guys, sometimes in in our future workplaces, sometimes our bosses could not be, di sila good bosses. Okay? But we are called to obey. Pero, ayan, depending on your principles and so on. Allocating and delegating authority means division of authority. Yan, dinedelegate mo. So, hinihiwalay-hiwalay mo yung authority. Okay? So, sometimes, of course, the authority of the CEO is so big. Okay? So, para ma-achieve na yung goal, mas maganda i-delegate niya. Hati-hatiin niya. Yan. So, yun nga, nagkaroon ng division such as based on function. Yan. So, kung maliit lang yung company based on function. So, kailangan ko ng finance team, kailangan ko ng academic affairs, yan. Sa UB, kailangan ko ng linkages, yan, kung sinong makikipag-link sa iba't ibang bansa, iba't ibang school. Meron ring quality assurance, yan. So, para ma-achieve yung goal ng university. So, you could assign the duties. You have to define the task and the roles that needs to be done. Now you grant the authority. You give them the authority. And you share the authority with them. So when you share your authority with them, and they will be respected by the people under them. And however, okay, maganda magka-authority, but with that authority comes responsibility and accountability. Hindi ba? With great power comes great responsibility. Okay? So class, napapansin ko na maraming gustong maging leader, maraming gustong sakto halalan pa, diba? Maraming gustong maging leader to have that authority. But sometimes, what they forgot is you have accountability, diba? You have a responsibility to perform your duties, okay? Some, gusto lang nila yung clamor ng having power, pero yung responsibility behind having that power is hindi nila ginagawa. Okay? So, yan. So, types of authority, we have line authority, staff authority, and functional authority. So, mataas yung line. Relationship in which supervisor exercises direct supervision over a subordinate. Authority of those managers in the organization who are directly responsible for achieving this objective. So, this line authority are very high levels of authority. Okay, we have staff authority. Ito, advise, assist, and support the line authority. So ito class, they are like consultants. Yan, parang consultants sila. So they advise and assist and support the line authority. So they have no direct management responsibility. They are like consultants. They have experts, pero hindi sila managers. And we have functional authority. Have the ability to command the subordinates that authority is limited to specific functions. Yan. So parang supervisory. Yan. Limited lang yung authority nila. Next, ito lang, add lang, organizational culture. Okay? So, hindi ba ang culture or tradition, it is a shared belief values of a group of people. Diba? Kunyari, Filipino culture. Yan. So, as Filipinos, we love Filipino food. We say po and opo. Hindi ba? We value family. So, in an organization, guys, they're also a shared of set of beliefs and traditions and values and norms. Yan. So, isa dito, ang pinili ko, talagang pinakasikat when it comes to their culture is the culture at Google. Yan. So, sabi nga nila, ang culture sa Google, it's like an adult playground. So, they are really taking care of their employees, and they're creating an environment, a culture wherein it incites creativity. Yan. Sabi nga, Google's success can be attributed to its culture. Google has people whose sole job is to keep employees happy and maintain productivity. Yan. So example, yung pinsan ko guys, ang job niya, yan, is they manage the ping pong tables, the karaoke rooms inside Google. Yun. So, yung reservation ng mga PS5, yan, ng mga employees, yun, sila yung nagmamanage nun. So, they keep the Google employees happy, like coffees, free food sa Google, ganyan. They're taking care really of their people because their people is the reason why Google is what it is right now. Hindi ba yung innovations ng mga IT nila, ng mga creative directors nila sa Google, it will so if the employees are happy and productive, yun yung culture nila, so they believe that it will improve the productivity of Google as well. Ayun, galing, no? So that's their culture. University of Baguio, ang culture guys is a fun learning environment, and I think it's more fun in UB talaga. And organizational structure are dependent on the ethics, the moral values, the beliefs of the CEO, syempre yung mga head muna, that establish the appropriate way of an organization. Yan. So, organizational ethics. Example, guys. Ito si Elizabeth Holmes. Elizabeth Holmes, as you could see, is in the cover of Forbes. I don't know what year this is, mga 2016, 2017. So dito yung sikat na sikat siya because she had a invention. Sikat na sikat siya sa US, sa Silicon Valley. Kumbaga nga parang kala nila she is the next Steve Jobs. Yan. Because what she discovered is with a drop of blood, yan, medical technology, and this machine which is called the Edison, yan, with a drop of blood and the small machine, yan, ito yung company niya, Theranos, is it could test about 1,000 tests daw with this simple machine na ang liit-liit na makina and with just a drop of blood. Yun yung kiniklaim ng company niya. Yan. So talagang sumikat siya. May nasa Forbes magazine. Talagang her company became a parang $1 billion company ata yung naging worth ng company niya. Talagang nagkaroon siya ng yung mga machines niya, it is in the grocery chain. So, pwede nang magpa-test ng blood yung mga tao na nasa Walmart or Walgreens ata yun. Papatest, pupunta lang sila, isang drop of blood lang, tapos pwede na silang magkaroon ng results. Yan. So, ganun kalaki yung business niya. However, guys, yan, in 2021 up to 2022, she was sentenced, yan. She was sued for fraud. Yan. Hindi totoo yung technology niya. Yun dito ito technology. Marami siyang tinatago. Yan. So for 2021, sinubaybayan ko ang CEO ng Theranos. And guys, ang bali-balita sa culture ng Theranos, yan, maraming secrets. So if they think that the workplace has been toxic daw, ganyan, maraming secrets, maraming ino-overlook na quality control results and so on. So hindi totoo, fraudulent yung mga results na pinoproduce niya. And guys, small machines like this, yan, na mapaperform lahat ng different tests, is impossible. So, subaybayan nyo na lang rin yung kwento ni Elizabeth Holmes. Yan. So, it's a fraud. So, from $1 billion company to negative, ayan, ewan ko na bankrupt na yung Theranos, pero ewan ko may value pa yung Theranos. Yan. So, the organizational ethics, and where will you base your technology? Is it based on a lie? Yan. So, yung Apple technology ni Steve Jobs, yan. So, ang competent nung technology, yan. So, yan, where are you basing your moral values, yung beliefs? Is it based on lie? Is it based on truth? Is your heart for that organization is for customer service ba talaga? Ganyan. So, yan. Employment relationship, the policies that govern your human resources, its structure, and the characteristics of the organization. So it's very important talaga na who are the people you are hiring. Yan. And by this story, yan, careful ka rin kung saan ka nagtatrabaho. Yan. And finally, guys, we have human resource management. So let's just have an overview of what does it mean to manage the people in the organization. Okay, so the functions of human resource management is it conduct job analysis. I-describe natin later yung job analysis. Planning labor needs and recruiting job candidates, selecting job candidates, orienting new employees, yung trabaho nila, managing wages and salaries, they provide the incentives, they evaluate the performance, and they are the one who are firing and retiring employees. Okay. So what else? Communicating, yan, interview, counseling, disciplining, yan. So hindi ako na-try ko na ma-discipline yan. Bibigyan ka ng memo, magsasend sila ng letter, tapos mag-reply ka. Training and development, building employee commitment, equal opportunity and affirmative action. They provide opportunities for the employees, promotes health and safety. So, kailangan ng hazard pay, kailangan grievance and labor relations. Yan. So, kailangan ba magbawas ng sahod, ganyan, so on. Why is HRM important? Because we don't want to hire the wrong person for the job, experience high turnover, maraming nagre-resign. Example, guys, in call centers. Yan. So, there is a high turnover. So, kaya mataas ang sweldo sa call center kasi hindi marami ang nakakatagal nung ganong shift. Find your people not doing their best. Yan. They are bored or naging there is monotony in their job. Waste time with useless interviews. Yan. So, hindi naman pasok yung job qualification niya, pero nag-apply sila. So, sayang oras. Have your company taken to court because of discriminatory actions. Have your company cited under occupational safety laws for unsafe practices. So, kailangan i-implement mo yung mga standards that were recommended by the law or established by the law. Have some of your employees think their salaries are unfair. Allow lack of training. And so they promote training and commit unfair labor practices. So what is job design? So the process of organizing work into jobs. So example, you have this specific work. And I need someone who extracts blood. Yan. So, okay. So we need a job for a medical technologist. I need someone who would accept the specimens. Oh, we need a receptionist. Okay, so ganun, process of organizing work into job. So depending on the needs of the company, ano ba yung kailangan trabahuin? So kunyari construction, yan. So I need someone who will mix the cement. Diba? So, para mabuo yung bahay. Anyway, so yan, process of identifying the exact task. So, identifying the duties, responsibilities, qualification, and methods. It's part of the strategic planning. Okay? So, sa human resource management, yan, to plan on what you're going to do in human resource management, muna gawa ka muna ng job design, okay? So your goal is to match the right people with the right job. Example, for me, I was making my thesis, and I need someone who would distribute my questionnaires. I need help with my thesis, who would distribute my questionnaires, who would talk to people, and will collect back the questionnaires. Yun lang. So I need a research assistant. Yan. So yun. So that's basically a job design. So to achieve a productive workforce, improve job satisfaction, reduce employee problems. So factors which affect the job design, organizational factor. So what are the services that you provide, 'di ba? So kung kunyari it's a fast food chain, di kailangan mo ng mga crew, 'di ba? That people, the type of skills, limitation and motivation, legal, union and requirements. So what is specified by the law? So, sino bang type of people kailangan mo? Kailangan mo ba ng mga professionals like doctors, lawyers, and engineers? Or you need a low-skilled level lang ng mga people? Yeah. So, yeah. So job design improves the aspect of job simplification, job rotation, job enrichment, and job enlargement. Yan, madali lang to, guys. So in making a job design, yan. So first is you have to simplify it. So ang laki-laki ng, kunyari example, you want to promote patient health, yan, or provide treatment for patients. So ang dami nun, okay? So merong diagnostic, merong yung drugs sa mga pharmacies, merong doctors, 'di ba? You have to break it down into easier subparts. Yan. To enhance the individual's productivity by minimizing physical and mental efforts. Complex tasks is divided into relatively easier tasks. Yan. So, advantage, and since you divide it into smaller tasks, employee could be proficient or expert. Yan. So, it could increase the profitability since they are part of the saves training costs. Yan. So, example, since medtech naman ginaduate, yan, you don't really have to train anymore. Short na lang yung training, di ba? So, unless kunyari magpapaaral ka pa ng 4-year course, yan, that would take too much time, okay? So, ayun. Disadvantage, yan, if the job is too easy, there could be boredom, monotony, absenteeism, mistakes, accidents, and decreased productivity. So, you want simple jobs for people, pero yung sakto lang na it is challenging pa rin, and it will not result to boredom. Yan, challenge, diba? Next, job rotation. Yan. So, as much as possible, sometimes, you need to rotate the people from one job or one role to another to reduce monotony, broaden one's knowledge and skills, help the management to explore hidden talent. Ang galing, no, guys? Helps individual to realize his own interest. Yan. So, example, kaming mga teachers, minsan i-rotate kaming maging student body advisor, pwedeng maging head ka ng interns and so on, ng review. So, there is a rotation, pwede kang maging head ng outreach services, yan, so that you could try different skills, yan, something that you like, yan, you will find something that you like outside of your talagang job responsibility. Disadvantage, reduces uniformity of work kasi nga you are being rotated to other departments or something. Fear of performing another task effectively. People could be fearful. Frequent interruptions in the work since walang continuity eh. Misunderstanding between the team members, difficulty in coping with other members, and fear of getting more tedious or hectic. Kasi nga, you're rotating from one work to another. Enrichment, yan. So, guys, you promote people, yan. You give them a higher authority or responsibility, yan. So, you enrich their job. So, pag job enrichment, tumataas ka ng hierarchical ladder pa vertical, okay? So with an increased employee morale, yan, kasi nga binigyan ka ng more authority, yan, he gets to produce top results and profitability. Yan. So if you give them an authority, yan, it could increase their satisfaction, their motivation. It becomes, yan, when employees have more responsibility, of course, it's a lesser lesser people they have to hire, diba? Since mas marami kang ginagawa. By giving authority to the employees, perform higher level jobs, the company is preparing its employees to occupy those high level positions in the near future. So guys, it's good to invest mag-invest ka sa employees mo. Okay? And job enlargement. So kung yung enrichment, pataas ka sa vertical ladder, sa enlargement, hindi ka mapopromote. Yan. Lalawak yung span of authority mo. Okay? Increasing the scope of duties. You're adding more activities in the existing job. Yan. Hindi naman tumaas yung authority mo, pero rumami. Yan. Hopefully, tumaas rin sweldo mo. More satisfaction, the more motivated, able to produce top results. When the employees bear more responsibilities, giving authority. Yan. Perform higher level. Yan. Yan. Ito sa job enrichment to. So, job enlargement, yan, you are gaining more responsibilities rin eh. Yan. So, yan, job enrichment, expansion of a higher level. Ito, expansion of a job in the same level. Job simplification, breaking down the job into easier tasks. Job rotation, shifting from one job to another. And unti na lang guys, so job analysis. Yan. So job design is the more broader picture. Yan. You want to be more specific now, which is job analysis. So now, ang goal mo, now you have the designs, kung sino yung mga kailangan mo, the process of planning. Now, you would determine the level of experience that you need, the education, yan, yung mga qualifications nila for that particular job. So what the HR does is in job analysis is produce the job description and job specification. So job description includes the following: duties, responsibilities, and job specification. Ay nako. Yan, pakita nga natin. Yan, please search. Bakit pareho yung pinis ko dito? So, the difference in job analysis, so it's more specific ha. So, job design needs organizing and planning. So, this is an example of job description. So, it includes the job title, who are you going to report to, the overview, the responsibilities, and duties. Yan. So guys, that's it. Please search ano pagkakaiba ng job description and specification. Okay? So guys, that's it. Thank you for listening. Bye-bye.